Good morning, my dear children. Today we are going to discuss about solutions. How many of you come across the mixers in your day-to-day life? How many mixers did you come across in your day-to-day life? There are so many mixers we have come across with everyday life. First of all, I would like to interact with you certain content. How many of you visited in beach? There you have seen there is a sea water. Sea water is nothing but salty in nature. Yes or no? Yes. Now, I would like to talk some other questions. Some solutions are very concentrated, some solutions are diluted. See, by the way, we are going to introduce certain solutions concept in this during this topic. This topic content factors, types of factors, factors affecting the solubility and mass percentage and problem solving and some other data are there. So, it is one of the important chapter in the chemistry portion. Okay. Now, I would like to go into the topic now. First, we have to see the solution used in day-to-day life. First one is a sea water. Sea water is consists of nearly 35 grams of salt in it, okay, per liter. Sea water is a mixer which is so important for the life existed in the earth. By the way, the same matter, air also a mixer. Fruit juice also a mixer. Then drinks which we are drinking every day, it is a mixer. Tea, we have day, morning or evening, we are having the tea. Tea is a solution. And medicines, most of the medicines are solutions. Okay. Now, I would like to go into that next part. Now, the types of mixers. What are the mixers we have seen in a day-to-day life? First one is a salt water. Now, the concept based learning is called science. So, let us you understand the concept and then go to into the learning. That is a very important thing in a learning a science. Everyone knows about that. Now, I am going to do the experiment how the homogeneous mixer and heterogeneous mixer. Now, homogeneous mixers are nothing but where the solid particle uniformly dissolved in a solvent, that is called homogeneous mixer. Now, I take in the beaker a little amount of water in it. Okay. Just add a 100 ml of water. Now, take 100 ml of water, add a salt, sodium chloride, which you called as a common salt. A little amount of salt I added, just I stirred it very well. Now, salt get into be dissolved. Now, you come into the point here, what I would like to say, which one is a solid, which one is a solvent? Anyone? Yeah, already you know in the 9th standard itself, the solid is a smaller quantity, solvent is a larger quantity. Now, solid is a sodium chloride is a solid and water is a solvent. Okay. How the solution is looks like now? The solution is looks like a transparent in nature. Now, the salt is dissolved homogeneous in manner. How the homogeneous means? The solid particles are uniformly dissolved in a solvent. Now, I have some questions about this experiment. I will ask you later before I going into the heterogeneous matter. Okay. What is the question is? Here solid particles are completely dissolved. How it was happening into the solvent? The size of the particle is very important factor here. The size of the particle is which is less than 1 nanometer, that is why it is soluble into the water. Means this solution is called a true solution. Why it is a true solution means the solid particles uniformly dissolved in a solvent. That is why it is a true solution. How it was dissolved? The dissolution is later we will think about that. Now, I go to the heterogeneous mixer. Heterogeneous mixer means, now I take a same manner the water, so 100 ml, 100 ml of water. I add a solid particle is, now I change the solid particle is sand particle. Now, add a little amount of sand in it. What you are saying? I just stir it, I stirred well, but that the solid part is called suspended. Now, solid particles are suspended. Why it is a suspended? Because the size of the particle is bigger than the 1000 nanometer. Okay. That means it is a suspension. So, the particles are hanging into the solvent. Okay. Now, you comparing these two, this is a true solution, this is a suspension. In between the size is named as colloidal solution, which is equivalent to in between the size 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer. If it is above the 100 nanometer, that will be a suspension, which is less than 1 nanometer is a true solution. It is uniformly dissolved into the solvent. It is not uniformly dissolved, it is hanging, suspending particle. Okay. It is a transparent substance. Okay. Now, I go into the next one is components of solution. What are the components we have seen here? Solvent and the solute. There are two components in a solution, which is larger quantity is a solvent and smaller quantity is a solute. Now, what is a solution? Solute plus solvent is equal to solution. If there is two components in a solution, that solutions are called as binary solution. What are the components are in this solution? There are two components are in the solution. One is solid and one is a solvent. So, it is a binary solution. Okay. Now, I adding further some more solute into it. That solute is, suppose I add a glucose into it, a little glucose, same solvent, already it is a sodium chloride dissolved in the solvent. Again I added glucose into it. What will happen? Now, glucose also, see it is completely soluble. Now, how many solute are there? Two solute. How many solvent? One solvent. So, what is the name of the solution? Ternary solution. Is it clear? Right. I think you are understood the concept. The concept what it say, once again repeating the same method. A solution which consists of two components, they are called as binary solution. A solution which consists of a more than two is called a ternary solution. Okay. Now, next one is types of solution. Types of solutions are based on the state of a solute and the solvent. First classification is based on the state. State means already in lower standard you studied about solid, liquid and gas. Okay. This is a basic, already you will know that. Now, state of the solid is solid and state of the solvent is solid. Now, solid mixer, we call it as a solid salt. That example is copper dissolved in a gold. It is an alloy which you can see in the temple bell and most of the magnetic material or alloys in nature. They are copper dissolved in a gold. The second category, liquid dissolved in a solid. So, liquid solid, solid solvent, which is called a mercury with sodium, it is called amalgam. So, mercury with any metal is called amalgam, which is used in dentist. The dentist used to fill the teeth gap by using amalgam, silver amalgam, gold amalgam. It also very most precious one application of the mercury. Third one is solid solid and liquid solvent, that we have seen now, that is called a sodium chloride dissolved in a water. It is a solid liquid solution. And fourth one is liquid. It is a very commonly we used to in a day to day life, ethyl alcohol dissolved in water. It is a thoroughly mixed, it is a uniformly mixed, it is a homogeneous mixer, ethyl alcohol dissolved in water. And next one is gas in liquid. If a gas is dissolved in liquid, that is a carbon dioxide dissolved in water, where we used to drink aerated drinks like Pepsi, Coca-Cola, such a drinks are filled with soda water, all carbon dioxide is mixed in a water. And next one, liquid in gas, the water vapor in air, where the atmosphere, the clouds formation. Clouds which is consists of a water particles in air, that is known as a cloud. Then last one is gas in gas, mixture of helium oxygen gases, which is used a balloon, that is called a parachute, and balloons are helium oxygen gases. So, this is a type of solution which is based on the state of solute and the solvent. And next one is based on the type of the solvent. we are going to see the aqueous solution and non-aqueous solution. What is aqueous solution? Commonly we used water as a solvent. Water is a universal solvent. Everyone knows about water is a wonderful, precious content in chemistry and throughout the world. Where there is no water, there is no life in it. So, water is a universal solvent. Why it is a universal solvent? Because water is used as a most of the solid can dissolve it. So, it is a most soluble solvent which is used for most of the solid particle. Now, aqueous solution only dissolve only polar components. What is polar and non-polar components? There are two things are polar and non-polar components. In chemistry, we used to discuss about that. Polar components means positive, negative charges will be there. Non-polar, there is no charges at all. So, neutral components. So, the water which is the polar. So, commonly we say like substances dissolve in like. The like dissolves like is a common word. Like dissolves like means like solid dissolve in a like solvent. Are you clear? So, water is a universal solvent. So, the water which is used to dissolve sodium chloride, already we have seen sodium chloride dissolved in a water, it is a aqueous solution. So, a solution which consists of water. So, water is a solvent which made a solution, that solution are called as a aqueous solution. What is a non-aqueous solution? For example, ethanol, instead of water I used a ethanol. Ethanol it is a most important component nowadays, ethanol. This ethanol I used to, this is a non-aqueous. It is looks like a water, but it also a solvent. It is a non-aqueous solvent. I will take little amount. Alcohol is a non-polar solvent, it dissolve non-polar solid. Okay. Now, suppose I take sodium chloride in it, it will not dissolve it. Only it dissolve only a non-polar like a iodine. Suppose I take a iodine into it. Iodine, it is a one kind of a crystals. I will show you that it is iodine. A little iodine added into the alcohol. What you are just observe the color changes and all. See the color. If add into water, it is insoluble. Iodine insoluble in water, iodine soluble in alcohol. Alcohol is a non-aqueous solution, water is a aqueous solution. Now, this is a iodine. Already know in biologically iodine is the most important compound which is a human health for thyroid complexes, because due to the iodine deficiency. That is why iodine is added into the common salt. Common salt, it is a content where we added iodine into it, it is called iodized salt. This is a healthy one. So, we have to use the iodized salt is a healthy for the our thyroid disorder will be rectified it. So, because iodine is insoluble in water, we cannot add into it. So, it is alcohol is a solvent which dissolve a iodine. Okay. Suppose you have doubts or it is soluble in water, let we check in a water now. Okay. Let me check in a water. Let I add into the water into the beaker for little amount. Let us I go into the iodine crystals. It is a water, it is a polar solvent, it is iodine I added into it, but it is insoluble. See, not soluble, the particles are suspended. So, like dissolves like. Now, you keep it in your mind, polar solvent dissolve in polar, non-polar solvent dissolve in a non-polar. Okay. So, that is you select the solvent as it is. Okay. Next we go to the next part based on the amount of the solid. Based on the amount of the solid, first one is saturated solution. The solution which no more solid can be dissolved in definite amount, every solvent has a such a limit. Suppose children, I am asking you one questions to you, how many idli you have to eat in a breakfast? Suppose I have limit is 5 idli, more than that I will not be a brisk, I will get to something laziness. So, if I eat more than 5, what will happen? I will be get something briskless man. Suppose I have eaten 10 idli, so I will get indigestion. Okay, that have the limit. So, everyone have the limit. Sattva's same manner, every solution the solvent has certain limit. That limit is called saturation. The solution in which no more solid can be dissolved in a definite amount of a solvent at a given temperature is called as a saturated solution. Saturated solution, 36 gram of a sodium chloride dissolved in only 100 gram of a water at 25 degrees Celsius. 36 gram of a sodium chloride means what? That is a amount of a sodium chloride dissolved in 100 gram of a water. More than that, insoluble, it hanging over on that. So, how to be explain this saturated solution? Now, practically we see this saturated solution. Next one, unsaturated solution. The solution in which contains less solid than the saturated solution at given temperature, that is called unsaturated solution. So, the solution which is less than the saturated content, less than the saturated limit means the solution which is 100 gram is a water which is soluble only 36 gram of sodium chloride. Now, 10 gram of sodium chloride dissolved in 100 gram of water means unsaturated. So, more solid could be dissolved in that solvent. Is it possible? No? Is it possible to add some more solid into the solvent? Such a nature is called unsaturated solution. So, my limit is 5 idlis means I had eaten only 3. So, some more idli can add into my digestive system. So, it is acceptable. So, I am unsaturated. Always you should be unsaturated in manner, that is good for a health also. Okay. Now, next one is super saturated solution. Something super means saturated solution which has a limit, that is 36 gram is a sodium chloride dissolved in 100 gram of your water at 25 degrees Celsius. If a super saturated solution means the solution which contain more solid than that saturated solution at given temperature. So, what is saturation limit is 36 gram. Now, what is a gram will be added, extra 4 grams added. So, example I have given 40 grams of sodium chloride in 100 gram of water. Now, what about the extra 4 grams? The 4 grams which could not soluble means we are adding into the 4 grams, how to be make into that soluble means we got externally we got to apply a heat or pressure into it. If you apply a heat or pressure into it, that solution is called a super saturated solution. Aim is to test the solubility of the given salt. The tabulation is given in your textbook. The amount of salt is added. First you have to be added 25 grams. Now, I will demonstrate about that practical part. Now, I add a water into that. How much? 100 ml. So, I added approximately 100 ml into the beaker. Now, I add a 25 grams of the solid, that is sodium chloride salt, which I weighed already in a physical balance. First, I am adding a 25 grams of the sodium chloride salt. Now, I stirred it, constantly stirred it. No particles are visible. Now, 25 grams of salt is dissolved in a 100 ml of your water. This is a unsaturated. So, this is unsaturated. I could add more solute into it. Further, I am adding 11 grams into the solvent. Now, added 11 grams into the solvent. Then, what is the total grams now added? 36 gram of a solid added into the solvent. Now, the solution is, it becomes a saturated solution. Saturation means what? No solid could be dissolved, more than solid could be dissolved at a particular temperature. Now, the limit of the solvent is completely over. How much of grams I added? 36 grams. If I add 1 gram in it, what it will happen in the solution is undissolved. Then what the solution attained is called super saturated. Now, I add a 1 gram salt. Now, I add a 1 gram. Now, 1 gram of a solid is added. Further, I am stirring constantly, but solid particles are undissolved. This solution is called as a super saturated solution. I am looking through that view that I have seen certain solid particles are visible means suspended. If it is suspended means that limit will be exceeded. The limit of a solvent exceeded, that attained to the supersaturated solution. Now, I applied heat into it, what will happen? This solute also dissolve in a solvent. Such a solutions are called supersaturated solution. The concept is what is that? The solution which have the intermolecular space, that intermolecular spaces which can occupy in the solid particle, the size of the particle is 1 nanometer, already I told you that. So, 1 nanometer which is filling the gap of the solvent. More than that add, I could not have the space to add it. So, what it be? That solid particle exceeded, that exceeded or suspended here. So, that is called supersaturated solution. Now, see the result. It is inferred that the amount of salt required for saturation is how much? Only 25 plus 11 equal to 36. Okay. Next one is based on the concentration. It is a type of solution based on the concentration. Concentration means everyone knows about that. The solution which has higher amount of solute per given solvent, means the amount of solute is higher in a particular amount of a solvent. So, 20 grams of sugar dissolved in 100 ml of water, it is highly concentrated. The solution which is less amount of solute per the given amount of the solvent is called a diluted. Suppose you are eating pickles, that what is the taste? The taste will be more salty in nature. That is why you are hindered to very interest to eat a pickles, means what is happening? There is highly concentrated salt in it. Okay. If you little amount of salt, that will not get into it. So, most of the junk food which has more concentrated sugar, salt and substances are there. So, children are like to eat and have it and it will be addicted in it. So, do not be like that. Such a way you will be do not addict on the more concentrated substances. So, less concentrated substances are which is healthy one for your life. Honey is more concentrated in sugar. So, no? Yeah, such a way the sugar, so 20 gram of your sugar dissolved in 100 ml of water is concentrated. Now, I would like to say, now I am going to demonstrate that two experiments, one experiment for concentration, that is a clock reaction. That clock reaction is very famous, that reaction for iodometry reaction, that have the most chemical composition are there. That is I choose another reaction for your class, that will be very suitable for you. Particularly I took a sodium thiosulfate. Sodium thiosulfate which is look like this. This is a sodium thiosulfate, which is thio compound is in sulfur compound Na2S2O3. Okay, it is a sodium thiosulfate. I take into the one beaker, that will be in a equal quantity of the solvent. Okay, this is one beaker. I dissolved with a certain amount quantity, that will be at 100 ml, 100 or 150 ml. Just I took 150 ml. Okay, 150 ml of water I add in it and just I dissolve in it. Some more crystals are going to takes the time to dissolve it. Just 150 ml of water, I added a sodium thiosulfate salt in it. I dissolve this. This is a true solution. So, homogeneous mixture. I took another one, same amount of a thiosulfate, same amount of a solvent. I dissolve it. This also 150. There are solvent is a same concentration. I change the solutes concentration, then the type of the reaction will be changes, the rate of the reaction will changes according to the concentration. This kind of experiment is called as a clock reaction. What is mean that the rate of the reaction increases with the concentration. So, rate of the reaction versus concentration of the solution. Okay, I dissolve in it. So, both are solvents are 150 ml. I took another reagent, that is a hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid I took in a beaker for that. Just I took a first one is 20 ml of a hydrochloric, 20 ml of a hydrochloric acid. Just I dilute for up to 40 means 20 ml of HCl, 20 ml of water. Now total is 40 ml. This is one concentrated. This you can see it is a A. This is A. Next one is I chosen this is a B. Okay. Now I took same 20 ml, little bit 20 ml, and I add a 75 ml of water. So what is the total is 20, 75, that is 95 ml. Okay. This is 95 ml of water in it. So which one is less concentrated, which is diluted? This is diluted, this is concentrated. This is concentrated, this is A is a concentrated, B is a diluted. Now I am going to add into the one kind of a beaker. First I took a diluted solution into the sodium thiosulphate solvent. What is the change? You look it. I add a diluted hydrochloric acid into the sodium thiosulphate. What will be the changes? When I adding that, just I count the seconds. The seconds I count it. I add into it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 30 seconds take to complete the reaction, which will get turbidity. This is a white precipitate appeared after the 30 seconds. Which one I added? I added only a diluted solution. Okay. Now I took the same content into the concentrated solution. So how many minutes it takes? The seconds I will count it. Okay. Just I added in it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Say it is 25 seconds take to complete the reaction. This will take 30 seconds to take a reactions. Which one is a faster? So the B one is faster. Why it is a faster? It is a concentrated solution. Concentration reaction means the solution which is higher amount of solid, that hydrochloric acid which is higher amount of solid present in a solvent. That is why the rate of the reaction is faster. It is a concentrated solution, which I added later. The time taken to complete the reaction for little more time taken. So it is a diluted solutions. Thank you, children. Let us we see later the solubility and other content will be discussed in the next class. Thank you very much.